So don't let them steal your light. Don't let them break your stride. There's light on the other side. You'll see all the rain clouds follow me. It's a revolution. Gonna make you out tonight. It's a revolution.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Women in Athletics. I'm really excited to have Sabrina here with me today. She is the founder of Impact Performance, and she's always had a passion for educating, inspiring, and supporting young athletes on their journey to find their right path. And throughout her coaching career, it became pretty clear to her that too often the positive impact of sport is diminished because the community isn't really training its mind, the teams, and the organizations to combat things like burnout, anxiety, and fear of failure. So, based off that, she founded Impact Performance in order to give athletes, coaches, and parents the tools they need to change the culture of sport and performance. And her overall aim is to inspire the sport community to learn how to use and train their mental muscles as much as we do our physical ones. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, all of that sounds incredibly important. And tell me a little bit about how you started Impact Performance.
So it came about when I just had so many kids coming to me at the end of the season or the end of the year, or they're graduating and going on to university, high school, like a new path, and they'd be like, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. We don't know if we're going to continue sport. We don't know how sport's going to continue for us in our lives. And now we're sort of stuck and we're paralyzed with this fear of failure of, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. I'm not going to win. I don't know what to do. And then COVID hit. And for many people in, well, all communities, but in sport, a lot of it was just, we're canceled. And we don't know till when. We don't know what it'll look like, when it'll come back. So it became so apparent that we need something to support not only our athletes, but our coaches and the parents of the athletes when things like, COVID happens, injury happens, and it happens often.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this time really gave people the opportunity to open their minds and see what it is that they can do to contribute to either their community or other ones, just because we are sitting and we're lacking that human contact, and you're really able to see the downfalls of different programs because you're looking at it from the outside, whereas when the normal year is going on, you're just so falling into things that you don't have the time to really notice what's going on around you.
Well, and that was the other thing for me. It was, as a coach or as a teacher, you have a curriculum, you have a skill you're trying to teach, you have a competition you're trying to win, a tournament you're trying to win. Sometimes we don't have the time, or we don't feel like we have the time to educate on life skills or mental health, or, hey, sit down, kids, how are we doing today? We get caught up in this. We need to get to this competition. We need to get to this tournament. You need to win. We got a curriculum we have to finish. Go, 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 go. And sometimes the kids just want to sit down and say, hey, we're having a bad day, or hey, we're having a bad week. And we as the coaching staff or the teachers get trained to coach in that way. The athletes then from a young age are told, be quiet and listen, be quiet and listen, be quiet and listen, do this, just do it, just go and do it, just be quiet. Okay, I don't have time. And then now I get my kids at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 who go, I have a question. I'm like, okay, what is it? I'm like, what? Like, spit it out. But they're so scared to say, hey, I don't understand. Hey, this exercise does not feel good. And I don't think it's supposed to feel like this. It's probably not. Like, fun fact, if it doesn't feel real, like if it's really I don't get it, you should ask. And we train kids from a young age to be, excuse me, I have a question, right? So they're scared to ask, they're scared to come. with like, hey, I don't feel challenged. Even something as simple as that, where as a coach, that's my job, is to challenge you. And now you're scared to come to me. Like, what kind of a relationship is that then to me? So it really became apparent, like, we have to fix this, and we have to fix this as a whole, because one kid being educated on mental health at home, their whole team is sitting here going, help, us too, right? So it's so much bigger than just an individual level.
Yeah, I think that can also translate to education. And, when you're in school and you get to like college and high school and you have to do public presentations and everyone is just
Yeah.
petrified. And you're like, I wonder why, because in the class, you're just sitting quietly listening to the teacher. You're not really like, if you speak up, it's like very like well mannered, which is fine. But like, it kind of trains people to like hold their thoughts inside and like make sure they're always like contained. So when you are like in that space where you have to present, perform, speak in front of someone, you're like, oh my God, I have to do this too, because like this is just like my go-to state.
Yeah, and it's sad that from a young age we stifle the creativity, we stifle the curiosity. So when someone asks why are we doing this, or I don't understand, I don't feel it correct, you're telling me to pull up my core. What's my core? I don't know what that is, but okay, sure. Well, just do it, just feel it. Well, now you're 16, 17, 18. Guess what? In all aspects of your life, I don't really understand. So I like to do an exercise. I did it with my kids actually yesterday. I'm in the middle of talking and I talk and talk, and the kids are like, yeah, get to the point. And then I say, okay, everyone stand up, do 10 jumping jacks. Okay, everyone stands up. 1, 2. They're all looking around like she's lost her mind. They sit down. I go, what was the point of that exercise? We don't know. To listen to you? I'm like, no, one of you sat down and said, how come we did that? Like, it was very out of context. Why did we do 10 jumping jacks? Like, what purpose did that serve? None. I wanted someone to sit down and say, hey, or before we started, sorry, this seems really random. What's the point of these 10 jumping jacks? Right? So sometimes structure is good. I am not a wishy-washy teacher. You can ask the kids, but there's a difference between stifling and structure, and we don't want to stifle curiosity.
Absolutely. I love your mindset about it. And I think what's really unique about you and then impact performance is that you are coming at it from a coach's perspective. And so many times I feel like it's always the healthcare professionals or the ex-athletes that are like, we need change. We feel that something isn't right. Like we can do better. And then from what we see, the coaches are kind of like absentmindedly like following that path, they don't really know what's happening around them. So I think it's even when like the coaches are awakening and realizing that they themselves are like the biggest influence on these athletes or kids, and what can they do to better themselves, I think that's going to be like the next wave of improvement.
Huge. It's huge. And I can't tell you how many kids grow up. I guess they're already young adults sort of when I have them, but later in life, what did you remember that your coach told you? You might not remember, hey, right, left, right, up, down. You might remember, hey, you don't fit your uniform, lose weight. You might remember an offhand remark, oh my gosh, you're so slow, or like pick up faster. Guess what? As a coach, we forget the impact we have on these kids. As a teacher, like, you are forming tiny humans. And we forget that that's really number one, because those tiny humans grow up to be other humans that we then have to interact with still. And maybe that's selfish, because I don't really want to act with like, I'm like, oh my gosh, why are you like this? Oh, right, because we trained you to be like this. Like, come on, like, make a decision. Oh, you're scared because it's not going to be perfect, or you're procrastinating because it's not going to be perfect. Oh, well, yeah, we trained you that way. So you're not just coaching an athlete. It doesn't matter what sport you're coaching. You're not just teaching a student. You are impacting somebody's life. And so that impact that you have, it might be as simple as, oh, yeah, what's the question? What's that telling the kid? That's telling the kid you're not important. Whatever's on my phone is more important. Whatever is going on in my day-to-day life is more important than me showing up, being present, and valuing your time, your energy. So what are you telling your kids through nonverbal communication? What are you telling your kids through offhand remarks that you might not even pick up on, but that might stay with that kid forever? And then as an athlete, how do we deal with coaches like that? Because you're going to run into people like that. I am sorry, but that is just the truth, and I cannot help you from that. But what are you going to do when someone goes, you don't fit your outfit? You could be like, I need to go on these crazy diets. Like, no, okay, I don't fit into this outfit. Well, maybe next time you should have ordered one that fit. Or, okay, I'll do my best to be healthy, right? Because that's when we get, and I think it's becoming more and more clear. It's not just female athletes, it's male athletes too that have a lot of body positivity issues, which is sad, because what is the goal for most people? Healthy. Should we be really striving for one body image? And sure, you need to fit in with the team. You need to fit your partner if it's a partner sport where maybe the guy is shorter and you need to lift you. Maybe you need a shorter partner. Okay, cool. However, as a coach, do you need to say, gosh, you're so big? Or, oh, that's the biggest person on the team. Or, oh my God, who cares? Do they have a big personality? Do they have big passion? That's what we should be talking about. Are you healthy? Are you thriving? So it comes from coaches, but it also comes from the organizations. If you as a coach do not have an organization that supports you in doing things like this, it is very difficult to do things like this. So organizations, you need to step up. Organizations, you need to say, hey, yeah, we have a curriculum, we have skill-based things you need to learn, but guess what? As an organization, we want to foster growth mindset. We want to foster kids that can come out of our organization. I don't care if you become a professional skater from our organization, professional hockey player, maybe you become wildly successful in business, a doctor, an entrepreneur, a race car driver. I don't care where you go from our organization, but did you thrive and did we play a role in that? So organizations, support your coaches, support your teachers, give them the tools, give them the time, right? To promote healthy living, to promote mindsets that are beyond right, left, right?
Yeah, I think we have absolutely the same mindset in the way we think. And it's something that I keep reiterating, but it's because it's so incredibly important. When you're an athlete, the goal, yes, you want optimal performance. You want to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what often gets left out and what should be the actual number one priority is your optimal health. Because you have 40, 60 years after this one period where you're an elite athlete, where you have to thrive. You have so much else you can accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
You have to live your life and be healthy and enjoy it. And like you said, the one little off remark that a coach can say and not really realize that this can have an impact on this person beyond this one moment when you're their coach. You don't have to deal with them maybe in 10 years and you're on to the next. But for that person, they look back at that time in their life and it's something that they keep turning over in their head and it becomes a positivity issue and they just can't shake it off. And I think, yes, you can say to someone, maybe get a bigger dress, maybe you have to slim down a little bit.
Sure.
But I think it's important to then, if you're a coach and you are telling these things, you have to provide a solution.
A why,
a method, a healthy method in doing so. Because if you tell someone, hey, I really think that for you to perform your best, you might need to lose 10 pounds. Great, there's really nothing wrong with that. But then the person's like, well, I don't have a nutritionist. How do I lose these 10 pounds? I'm going to go on the keto diet. I'm going to go vegetarian because that's what society shows me is the only way that you can lose weight. I'm not going to eat carbs. I don't know what that's going to do to my performance. So as a coach, I think you have to either provide resources, share, don't just be like, oh, I think you shouldn't eat protein because I've had that experience and I lost some weight and you're too fat now and go lose 10 pounds.
Yeah. And it's why am I asking you to, I'm not asking you to lose 10 pounds because I think you look fat. I'm asking you to lose 10 pounds because I feel like it would improve whatever. I'm asking you to work on X muscle because I think it would improve. Not necessarily an aesthetic, not necessarily, I don't think you look good. You are not beautiful. You are not powerful. It is simply, okay, we're trying to get you on the, best possible path in terms of your like physique, in terms of your muscle composition. Sure. Okay. That's different. Or it might not even be, you need to lose 10 pounds. It might be, you need to build different muscle. You need to build leaner muscle, or you need to build bulkier muscle, whatever way you're going here. But it might not be about the weight. It might actually be about the composition of your body. So I might not need to go to that kid and say, you need to lose 10 pounds. I might need to go to them, hey, okay, here are some exercises. Here's a nutrition plan, because we're trying to lean out your muscle. Right now you're building bulk. We want you to build lean. So here's what we're going to do. Right? So there's a difference between just, and I think that's society, maybe a little bit. We dumb our kids down. We expect them to be an elite athlete, but also we treat them like they're stupid. And I have a news flash for everyone. Kids are pretty smart. Sometimes I don't want to admit it. They're smarter than I am, but tough life, they're smart. So when you have a smart kid, you're doing them a disservice by treating them like they're dumb. And okay, smart comes in many forms. Smart comes in, sometimes I can't count. Sometimes I'm like, how many kids are in this class? And where now I need to put you in this formation? And the kids are like, let's go through this again, Sabrina. So many lines divided by so many kids. How many kids in a line? I'm like, right, yeah, okay. Right? But smart comes in many forms. Smart comes in the kids that can do the math like that. They can pick up on the whatever technique, choreo, exercise like that. And then there's the kids that are a good leader. They're compassionate. They bring different elements to the team. And so not every kid is smart the same way, but you need to treat them like they're smart. So you need to explain from a young age why this is important. Why do we do things like this? Who are you? From a young age, who do you want to be? What's important to you? Okay, then let's work on that in class. If you want to be a kind skater, if you want to be a kind hockey player to your team, how do we do that? Not just like, you want to be a hockey player, you want to be a skater, you want to be a football player. What else are you? And then why don't we talk to kids at 9 about it? 10, 11. Why do we wait till they are 16, 17, 25? Help, so much help. I'm transitioning out of sport. Help. I'm injured. Help. I am failing in life because I feel like I'm drowning. Why do we wait to that point to give them here are some tools. Oops, we forgot about those while you were little, and we were pushing you. As an athlete, you want to be the best. You want to push, and I am all for elite athletes. I'm all for pushing to be your best. I'm also all for, you want to just have fun with your friends? Great. Whatever your goal is, align with that. You want to be a fun, just for fun community rec? That's amazing. Go be healthy. Go have fun. Go hang out with your friends. Those are your goals. Then go into each training session and align with that goal. Your goal is to be, I'm going to be world champ. I'm going to be this, that. Okay, go into each training session, align. But don't get distracted then by, I want to be, Olympic athlete. That's all. You have to have the passion to do that. You have to have the drive, the commitment. And then you need to know you're going to have to make some sacrifices, but align with it. Align and go. And then you can be an elite athlete and a human. You can be an elite athlete and, anybody else you want to be. You can be an artist. So maybe you go into figure skating, because you want to be creative. COVID hits. You can't go to the rink. Now what do? Well, you're stuck at home. But what was your number one passion in figure skating? Creativity. Now you're at home. Well, maybe we pick up art. Maybe pick up writing. So many other options, but know your why. Know why we're here and doing this. And then when you set that really high goal, when you're going to achieve it, celebrate the little wins, right? Go and yeah, I'm going to be a high level athlete, but that's not going to just define me. If I don't win every time, it's not going to define me, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of times for all athletes, we get so tumbled up in everything that we're doing just for that one goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had multiple coaches that were like, why do you go to school? Like, you're pretty, you're a good skater, like, forget about school, you don't need that. And it's like, that's not the right mindset to be pushing on people.
Mm-hmm.
You should be like, just make sure the school doesn't get in the way of your training hours.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can make that happen, which in itself is really difficult.
Yeah.
And then from there, be like, just when you're here, give it your all. But like, make sure you have another path in case this doesn't work out. Like,
Yeah.
make sure that you have a career for yourself. Like you said, your other interests. I mean, when I was Team USA figure skater, it got to the point where I was just so exhausted physically and mentally from being on the ice, having coaches say things to me, doing my programs, and then I would come home and I would just lie on the couch and watch TV. I just like didn't have the passion, the energy to do anything. And that has a big impact on itself, because even if you have that creativity, you love to draw, I love to draw, I go through like burnout stages where like I just don't have the mental capacity to create something outside of like my sport, which is essentially a full-time job in addition to being a student.
Yes. And I think you need to honor that. When you are in a burnout, when you are exhausted, you need to honor that, and you need to honor your body and your mind and listen. That is your body, that is your mind saying, hey, idiot, you've pushed too far. Tone it back. Listen to me now, or we're going to have big problems. So, being proactive. And this is what I talk about with, let's start teaching kids at a younger age. Let's be proactive instead of reactive. And that goes for you individual athletes as well. Be proactive, not reactive. Be proactive in your training. Think hindsight now. So hindsight is, I'm in the future state looking back going, man, I'm really glad I did that yesterday. Or man, I wish I'd done that yesterday because I don't have time today. Hindsight is looking back. And often we say hindsight is 2020. So we see very clearly, because we have more information, that was a good thing I did. That was a less good thing I did. What an experience, like whatever your vision is. If you start to have that now, you can save yourself a lot of headache in the future. So you have a homework assignment due Friday. You're training Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You have an hour break Thursday. Okay, it might be wise to schedule, okay, I'm going to do for sure that hour break. I'm going to do my homework assignment because it's due Friday. But maybe I shouldn't leave it all till Thursday. So I'm going to, maybe lunch hour work on it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because maybe Thursday training runs late or something happens. But, if you don't plan, if you don't have, and that's part of goal setting, really, it's like a routine, have a routine or a goal, break it down. So Monday, my goal is this, Tuesday, this, et cetera, to Friday. You're going to get to Friday and hindsight 2020 be like, man, I'm up at 3 a.m. still doing this assignment, right? And we struggle as athletes to sometimes find that balance between sport training, school, family, friends, and it becomes this ever-growing thing. But have hindsight now. Set good habits now. The book Atomic Habits is amazing. It talks a lot about, you can habit stack. So maybe you wake up in the morning and right now, first thing you just check your phone. That's probably not the best thing to do in the morning. Jim Quick talks about this. It's not your brain waves. I'm not going to go into great deal, but in the morning, you are the most susceptible to, what you're taking in. So you checking social media probably isn't the best thing to do when you're like half asleep in bed. Instead, think, okay, whatever happens, my alarm clock goes off, boom, that's something I'm going to do every morning. So then I'm going to sit up and I'm going to go, okay, I'm grateful for, or I'm planning my day, whatever you need to do. And I'm not going to tell you what you need to do. So you stacked it. Bam, alarm clock, up and do something. Okay, I did that. Now I can stack another habit. Go eat something, or go take a breather, go for a walk, whatever it is that I hate getting up in the morning. I'm not a morning person. So my morning routine is like, get up, get going, get you awake, get going, because you want to get out the door. Right? But same for the evening. I like to do a gratitude list at night for the athletes that are listening that are younger that think that's real fluffy. Yeah, it sounds real fluffy. I get it. And I am not a fluffy kind of girl. However, sitting down at the end of the night and realizing what I'm grateful for. And sometimes it's even the kids I teach. Sometimes I'm like, they were so lovely today. They gave me so much life. Sometimes I'm like, I want to strangle you. But it's like a release. It's like, I feel good. You release the good chemicals. Like, I am grateful for what I had. And maybe I had a crappy day. That happens. It's gonna happen. But if you can pick out 3 things even that day that like, it was a trash day, but I had my coffee in the morning. I got to talk to at least one good person, and I am in bed still healthy. Yes. That sometimes can set it into perspective and can then reset you for the next day, because sometimes we have a trash day and it carries into another trash day, and suddenly you have a garbage week, and that week turns into a month, turns into a year, and then you're looking back going like, it's just so awful. Don't let one garbage day turn into a garbage week. Yes. Remember what you're grateful for. Have a routine, set good habits, be proactive. Now, in the same token, little kids find it sometimes easier. They are more receptive to this kind of stuff. What are you thankful for? Oh, because they don't have this stigma of that's fluffy, that's silly, that's stupid. I feel stupid doing that. As we hit the teenage years, we start to feel that like, I'm too cool for that. You're not, first of all. Second of all, then cut the fluff. Make it, get down to basics. What am I actually doing? I'm just saying what I'm thankful for because I want to reflect on my day. I want to reflect on my day. I want to be thankful for something, and I want to start my day off tomorrow on a good foot. That's not fluffy. That's realistic and pragmatic. So you want to go that route? I'm all for that too, right? You need to pick what motivates you. For some people, they need more motivation. They need some in their life. Some people need like, cut the crap, get to the point. Either way, I don't care, right? And I think it's important that you don't rely on someone else to give you that. So you're watching this podcast and you're thinking, oh, yeah. You're going to turn this podcast off and you're going to be like, don't remember half of it. You are. And it's like, I know that. So I'm going to ramble on and maybe one or two things stick in your brain. The rest of it is like, see you never. But maybe you'll hear it again and then you'll be like, oh, right, I did hear that somewhere, right? You need to take charge, okay? You need to take charge. I cannot help you. You cannot help them. Your coach cannot help you. Your parents cannot help you. Sorry, not sorry, okay? We cannot help you. All I can do is tell you that there is something you don't know. And a very wise man told me that once. He said, you cannot raise people's consciousness from 0 to 5. If people don't like that. Then they feel dumb. They feel like, I don't like it. All you can do is say, there is something you don't know. Okay? If you're willing to accept that there are things that you don't know, I can take you to the next level. That's level 1. We don't know what we don't know. Okay. I don't even know as a baby that I don't know how to drive a car. I don't even know what a car is. I'm just like loving life. All of a sudden you go, there's this thing called a car, and I think people drive it, and I don't know how to drive it. So I know I don't know now. Then you get into this point where you're like, okay, I'm learning to drive. And this is a scary period for all of us on the road. People are learning to drive, and you see the sign and you go, avoid that car, give them great room around, just get out of the way. We're learning to drive. Okay, it's now become something, if we really focus on it, we know we can do it, but we're focusing. Habits are things that we then are not focusing on, but we know how to do. We're unconsciously competent. So we don't think about it, but we can do it. So sometimes now, if you can drive, you drive. Oh, you're at home. Like, how did I even get here? It's automatic. In your game, in your performance, we like to call that, oh, that person reads the court. That person reads the play. That person has developed such good habits for reading people, body language, where their feet are placed, that they can pick it up like that. They don't even know they're picking it up, but they're picking up a subconscious cue and boom, they can read the play. You can build that. That's not just natural ability. Sure, some people are naturally more gifted in certain ways than others. However, you can build that natural, oh, they're so gifted and can read the play. So, but we cannot help you. You need to take step 1 and go, there are things I don't know that I don't even know I don't know. And then we can take you to the next level, okay? So you're listening to this podcast and you're not going to remember half of it, but you need to take the step to go, I want to know what I don't know. So you need to rewatch the podcast. You need to go read the book, listen to the audiobook. I'm a big audiobook fan. Write things down. Go watch the play again. Oh, I can see now that he was going to go right and I went left, and But I, as your coach, cannot force that down your throat. I mean, I try. And then you hate me and say la vie. But you need to take that step.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that can be taken into anything.
Mm-hmm.
Your coach tells you about your body and you're like, well, now what do I do? Well, I don't have a nutritionist, so whatever, I'm just gonna dive into like a fad diet. If you understand you don't know, I mean, so you say, I don't know how to fuel my body.
Yeah.
Okay, you look into the physiology of it. I don't know what to eat in order to lose weight. Okay, then you dive deeper into that. And it just goes on from there. So you have to have that passion for yourself, like you said, to learn and not just be like, I don't have a nutritionist. I can't help myself. I'm not going to look for a nutritionist because I don't have one given to me. Like, what do you do from there? You can't just wait for someone to automatically fall into your lap and like, wow, this person's going to change my life. They're going to create the diet plan for me. I don't even need to think. I just absentmindedly follow, and they're going to like plan it out. And like, that's great. You can have a structured out plan, but you need to understand, how was that plan created?
Yeah.
Why? What was taken into account? Same with how you train. If you go into the gym, your coach is having you do a squat with a certain weight. Why am I doing this squat? How is it going to translate to my sport performance? Why am I doing this weight? Why do I need a certain stimulus presented? How is that going to create adaptations in my body? How is that going to create me a better athlete? Rather than saying, my coach is making me do squats and it's making me bulky, so I'm just going to stop going to the gym because it's useless.
Right? Like you need to understand the why. And then you need to be intrinsically motivated to actually pursue finding that, because being extrinsically motivated, so intrinsic motivation comes from within, extrinsic comes from without, for those of you that aren't sure. So extrinsic motivation can be great sometimes, like sometimes we're like, show enough, but often that's short-lived. So what's fueling you? And I'm going to go back to what we talked about at the beginning. Why am I here? Am I here to have fun? Am I here to push to be the best athlete I can be? So now I'm talking to you athletes who want to just like drive, like go, go, go. Okay, if that's your motivation, you better love it. You better be passionate about it, and you better stand up for yourself. So you don't like your coach, you don't think your coach is, and this is not me saying, oh, my coach is too mean, my coach is pushing me too hard. That is actually, okay, my coach is telling me things that are not constructive feedback. They are just negative feedback. My coach is pushing me, but it's pushing me to a point where I'm constantly injured. Or my coach is telling me things, and then I'm looking and like doing actual research into it, and it doesn't seem right. Okay, now you need to advocate for yourself. So you need to go find a different coach. You need to go do the training and start coaching yourself, maybe. Yeah, you need to have a discussion with your coach. Now that seems to be a hard one.
Yeah.
And that comes from, I will take the blame as a coach for that, or as a parent. That comes from, again, be quiet, just do what you're told. Okay, so I will take the blame for why you guys are scared to come to us as a coach. Okay, fine, red X for us. However, that doesn't mean you can't change. So I had a conversation with my kids that I coached the other day, and they're not feeling challenged. They feel, and they put it in an extraordinarily great way, they feel because of COVID they have not left last year, and not in a good way. It's like Groundhog Day, but you're miserable every day. I said, well, first of all, it took me an hour to drag this out of them. So yes, okay, come on, what's wrong? Your energy's garbage. I'm getting drained sitting here with your negative energy. So come on, what's going on? Okay, why can you not go to your other coaches and say this? Oh, well, we feel like they'll take it as a disrespect. Okay, we'll feel like we'll get in trouble. We feel like we'll be reprimanded for saying we're not challenged, saying we're sort of stuck in this place. So instead, what have they chosen to do? Drag this dead body behind them all the way. And they're going to, because they're respectful, because they're passionate, they're going to drag it to the end of this year. I said, does that make any sense? You are just hauling this trash with you, and it's heavy. And you're like, I'd really like to let go. And I'm like, let go. I can't. I'm like, what's holding back? Is it tied to you? No. So let go. I can't. It's right here. Why can't you? Because I'm scared. So let me get this straight. You're hauling a ton of trash behind you from last year. You're miserable. Your negative energy is carrying into my energy. And now you're going to tell me you're not going to let it go? Because you're scared. You're scared to come across disrespectful. You're scared to stand up for yourself. That's what we've taught these athletes. Don't come to me. What kind of relationship is that? If that was any other human relationship, let's say a romantic relationship. If I have two romantic partners and they cannot come to each other and say, hey, you said this thing that really upset me. Hey, I'm really not feeling like this relationship is jiving. Like we need to, they're not coming at each other saying, you suck, I hate you. Yeah, okay. If you came to me as your coach and you're like, you suck, I hate you, I might be like, get out, right? But if you come to me and say, help me, I am not connecting to this, whatever I'm doing, whatever sport, whatever exercise, I feel stuck, I feel not challenged, that's on me. Now, if your coach goes, not my problem, then that's not your problem. That's an issue, them, not an issue. You tell them, okay, but you don't take that and then put it in your bag of trash and keep carrying that with you. If someone that you have a human relationship with cannot respect you, cannot honor you and your needs, then that is a human relationship that maybe you need to think about. Bye-bye. Yes. And as athletes and as females, I think in particular, it's obviously getting much, much better, which is amazing. But we have this fear of not being liked. We have this fear of not being respectful, caring, flowers, roses. Well, you can ask anyone who knows me. I'm not a flowers and roses kind of person. So come to me. I'll come to you. I'll pull you out and say, hey, don't do that. Don't roll your eyes at me. What is going on? Right? But there is this back and forth. I can come to you and say, hey, student X, you're being a little brat. What's going on? Because I guarantee they're not being a little brat just for no reason. Okay? 1. 2, they have to be able to come to me and say, hey, you're being a witchy teacher today. Today you're like witch on extreme, not like normal, just like extra. Okay, well, let's discuss that. What did I say that really offended you today? But if you can't have a dialogue, what kind of relationship do you have? You don't have a relationship. So why bother? You are wasting your time. You're wasting their time. You're wasting parents' money. Honor your relationship. And that doesn't mean you sit for an hour with your kids you have stuff to get done. But it does mean that you feel their energy and you go, hey, kids, what's going on? Hey, athletes, what's going on? Hey, parents, what's going on? Maybe something's going on at home. Now, that is a personal conversation, but you need to have this, right? Have this so that you can have that conversation. Hey, your kids, like, this year's really down. Is something going on? Actually, yeah, we're getting a divorce. That's happened. Actually, yeah, their grandparent just passed away. Oh, now I can go to class and go, hey, how you doing? How's everything going? How are you feeling today? Okay, you're feeling some negative energy. Let's release that in today's session. Get that out, right? But you can't support if you don't know. And that goes for you athletes too. I can't support you as a coach who wants to have this dialogue. If you don't come to me and go, first of all, if you don't come to me and go, I'm injured, I don't know. So then I'm going to yell at you. Do it better. Why aren't you doing it on that side? Oh, hey, I broke my foot a month ago. Oh, then don't do that side. But you need to give me this energy too, because I cannot help you again. All I can do is you give me information, I can process. Sometimes, you might be like, help, and I might go, I'll get back to you in 3 to 5 business days. Google child having crisis. What do I do? Right? However, come to me because I can then go, okay, I don't have an answer for you. And that's hard as a coach sometimes to say, I don't have an answer for you. I don't know. But I'm not perfect. So let me look into that, okay? I'm not going to give you some BS answer like, here. I'm going to go and I'm going to look into it and I'll get back to you on that, right? So this needs to happen. This needs to happen both ways. And it needs to be a relationship, And now for organizations too, this needs to happen. Top down needs to be supportive. Top down needs to be, I have your back. And really, what are we looking for out of our relationships? Loyalty, honesty, respect. This is for any relationship. Gosh, we should take this for like dating advice. Loyalty, honesty, respect, right? Communication, showing up, honoring each other. That's any human relationship. And we get lost in sport in this. We're different. It's sport. It's not different. It's not different. If you honor your athletes and your athletes honor you, you will go further. You will be champions. Yeah. And that's just natural because you have a team.
Yeah. I know so many times that a coach gave me just the most unconstructive criticism. I was like you're not explaining me how to fix it. I'm trying different things. You're just like,
Yeah.
no, no, no,
Mm-hmm.
no. At the end of the day, I'm like holding back tears because I'm like I have utilized every skill that I have to try and improve. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, you're just showing it to me, telling me this is how you do it.
Over and over,
I
same
don't
thing.
Yeah, I don't understand. And then you get to the point where, I mean, I know sometimes we would come into the rink and be like, oh, like so and so, like the coach is having a bad day. And
Right.
we're all just like
You're
this.
like,
Oh my God, like we can't say anything. But like, really, why not? Why can't we say anything? Why can't
mm-hmm.
we come up to them and be like, hey, are you okay too? Like,
Yeah.
it's important to not only share what's going on with you, but open that communication from them. Because like maybe the coaches don't feel like they can open up and share to you because they're like, you're their student, we have to keep things
Mm-hmm.
professional, and vice versa. But you have to create more of that friendship relationship of, if I'm really hurting, I can tell you. You're hurting, you can tell me. If I'm in a great mood, like you can be like, oh, like what happened?
Yeah.
Why are you like, what's so exciting? And like that both like ebbs together and
Mm-hmm.
helps create that like foundation that can last. Whereas, you know, you're in a pissy mood, you're screaming at your skater, they go into the locker room and they're just crying, or they start crying on the ice and then you kick them out. How is that productive when
Yeah.
you have created that like stress and negative mindset in that athlete, and then you're punishing them for a normal human reaction?
Yeah.
I mean, and same with like, I know sometimes like it wasn't really like you're injured, like leave because I'm mad at you, but it's like you're injured, like go home. But that makes
Right.
you feel like, oh my God, like they're upset. I did something wrong. Like I wasted their time. Like,
Yeah. And then you're not going to say I'm injured ever again.
yeah, they think like
Mm-hmm.
they're just like, oh, you're just being a baby, and like that becomes your mindset. If you're sick, you're like, no, I'm gonna push. I'm gonna go train
Yeah.
today because like I don't want them to think badly of you. It's like, no, you have to put your feelings first and be like, hey, I'm not feeling great. I'm not gonna come in today. I'll let you know how I feel tomorrow. What can they say to that? No, I want you to come in anyway because you feel like shit and let's get everyone else sick. No.
Right. Right. And that's the thing. And I'm all for a professional relationship, you know, and I'm all for, you know, you're there to be their coach and not their friend. Okay, cool. However, you're also there to maximize potential. So to me, maximizing potential means there is a dialogue and there's a relationship outside of just like, meh, meh. So what I've started doing, and again, don't treat your kids like they're stupid. I teach little kids. I don't like teaching little kids that much, and the little kids know it. So I tell them, oh my gosh, you're 9? Okay, well, pretend you're like 12 for now, okay? Because like, I don't really know that's about where I'm at. So you're 9. Okay, I'm going to treat you like you're really mature. And they're like, sweet, right? Like, they're like, this is great. Okay. Sometimes once we realize like, oh, being mature means we don't get to talk all class. I mean, we are focused. They're a little less like sweet, but sometimes I go in and I'm saying, I'm having a bad day today. Oops, I'm having a bad day today. Okay. I, you know, whatever, had a really tough day at the office, or, you know, I just have some personal things going on, and I don't have to delve into it, but I just warn them. I'm having a bad day, so don't give me shit today. Don't try it. Like, not today, maybe next week. Okay. And I was astounded at how effective it was, because I started doing it because, of course, you notice when you're in a bad day, like your fuse is about yay short. Kids are not great. They don't mean to, but they burn that fuse real quick. So You're like, okay, this isn't fair, because I came in with a fuse this big to begin with, and then all you did was like say hi the wrong way, and I'm like, already over it, right? And that's not fair. Okay, so as an adult, you need to realize that's not fair. But if you preface it with, hey, I have a short fuse and I'm in a bad mood, and it's not your fault, but today is the day that you really want to focus, okay? You really want to be with me on this journey and not against me. And kids can go, oh, I've been there. I've had a bad day too. Sure, I'm going to shut up today. Like, okay, right? And you'll always have that kid that's like, oh no, are you okay? Right? It's like, oh, you do care about me, even if I'm being a witchy teacher, right? So that's all it takes, is don't treat them like they're stupid. And that ties in then to like, what do we define success as? So I'm all for winning. Okay, my kids, I'll tell you, I like to win as much as the next person. That's normal. That's part of being an athlete, I think. However, when the goal is only a gold medal, championship ring, whatever your win is, okay, you lose this much of the journey.
Mhm.
So this is the end goal. This is the journey. We lose this because then all of a sudden it is focus, 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 goal, goal, goal is win, win, win. Oh, I got my best. Doesn't matter. Win, win, win. Okay. Not great. COVID hits. Now you can't win because there's no tournaments. There's not. Now what do? Now you're lost because all of a sudden all this energy you focus to win, win, win is like, doo, 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 doo. Right? Instead, let's do this. Let's set a goal as a journey. Let's set a goal as part of who you are. So my goal is to be the best I can be. My goal is to win, would be a real big bonus. God, that would just feel so good. But my goal is to do my best this year. So if I beat my best time or I have my best performance, and you know what, I come in second, well, I guess the other person just did it better. Could be one judge's opinion, could be a time. Who knows? They did something maybe you didn't do. And maybe that's the time when you go, hey, I really like that thing that they did. I'm going to put that in my toolkit. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I like that turn. All right. What did you do before this race that I did not do? Oh, you ate this. I'm going to try that, right? Okay, but now our success cannot be just so one point driven. Our success can be a journey. And along that journey, you're going to align with what feels good to you, what fulfills you. And so that way, you're not going to love every part of the journey. You're not going to love running cardio. You're not going to love running stairs, okay? But your why is bigger. So my journey is bigger than just running these stupid stairs. I just have to power through because I know that they're going to propel me forwards. Okay? We're growing. We're growing. We're growing. We're growing. The journey is growing. That is success. So as a coach, I get caught up in it too. Okay, let's win. Let's do this. Like, go kick some butt. Okay, sure. But also, then you need to, let's grow throughout too, right? So you can win, but also growth is a win. That improvement is a win. Wow, you were really, really taking up a leadership role. That's a win, right? Yeah. Wow, you're really good with the other kids in like the younger teams maybe. What a good role model. That's a win, right? Live your journey, because if you're constantly one, then the next, you're missing this every time. You're missing this. That's like sleeping for 12, 15, 20 hours and living for 4 hours. Live, love it. And don't love every second of it because that's unrealistic. You're going to hate some things. You're going to hate some people. You're going to hate some moments. But is that hate worth robbing you of the joy? Yeah, you might not like that person, so stay away from them.
Yeah.
You know, you might not like running stairs, but push through because, man, your cardio is going to be so much better. Your heart health is going to be so much better. Whatever it is, right? We can't just have success as one thing. It has to be a journey. And that has to come from, your coach doesn't have to tell you that. Fun fact, that's on you. Okay? Your coach can say win, win, win. But if you celebrate that success, hey, I scored my first goal. Hey, I got my first touchdown. Hey, I beat my record on the track. Right? Celebrate. And then you can push forward. Right? You gotta, yes, keep going. Yeah, use that momentum. Build a positive momentum for yourself instead of always getting stuck in this, didn't win, didn't do this, didn't do, right? You're like a little troll then, just through life. No need, right? So part of that coaching, part of that, you're sick. Okay, you're sick, stay home, rest, recover, because the journey is not just you getting there and making everyone sick and puking and oh my gosh, maybe you have to show up for a team. Maybe you need to know the formations or this or that. Okay, I'm going to show up and watch. Okay, yeah. I'm going to show up and watch. because I know that that's what I need. And I know that my team needs me there to learn where I'm supposed to be. Fair, right? But make it bigger. Make it a journey. No, not every setback is like such a loss. Every setback is teaching you something. So, you know, you need to be intrinsically motivated to find that, right? You talked about it. If your coach is yelling, no, 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 no. Wow, first of all, isn't that the kid we hate? You know, no, 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 no. That's like the first word kids seem to learn. No.
Yeah.
And it's like the most annoying stage because you're like 2 and they're just no, no, no. And they think it's just so fun. It's like a fun word. You are now an adult yelling at some kid, no, 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 no. Like, think about that for a second. Like, get a grip. So, but if your coach is just doing that, then you need to take it on yourself. Okay, this is part of my journey.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel like I might burst into tears. That should not be part of my journey. Okay, so reframe, pause, reframe. Negative self-talk is kicking in. I suck, I don't get it. Reframe. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is on them. This is not on you, honey. This is on them. Okay. So, okay, they're just going to tell me no, no, no. So, goodbye. In here, what am I doing? I'm going to say, okay, I'm really not getting this. Why am I not getting this? Watch what they're doing. Oh, well, they told me to do it this way, but I see they actually put their foot here and I'm not putting my foot there. That's the problem. Okay, I see you, right? Take that and make it a journey. And yeah, you might go home and cry. It happens. Sometimes I come home from teaching and I cry. I'm like, these kids are killing me. It's part of the journey. And like, I'm not saying crying is a good thing, okay? But sometimes we ugly cry. Sometimes it just comes out. It happens, right? But move past. Grow from it and move past. And if you have a coach who is no, 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 show up when you're sick, you got to advocate for yourself and you got to look. So maybe you have to show up when you're sick because they said show up when you're sick. Okay, how can I do this and not die? You know, how can I, no, but why am I not getting it then? Oh, okay, I'm going to watch someone who is getting it. Or maybe I'm going to turn to my teammate who is getting it. Can you help me? Something is not clicking. Can I watch you do it? Can you tell me why I'm starting on the blocks for track and I can't get that? Oh, what are you doing different? Right? Yeah. Again, you as the athlete need to take that upon yourself if you can't find someone or a team who supports you, right?
Yeah, a lot of times the positives get lost and you come back to your coach and they get in the habit of like, this is what you need to fix. Okay, great. Next time, this is what you need to fix. This is your correction now. And it's just that constant like tumbling effect of like the bad. You win your competition. You're like, cool, I won. But it's like, what did I do great this time that made me win compared to the other times? What could I have improved on? And a great psychologist worked with me and my partner because we kind of, or I would more so get in the habit of like, you always want to improve. So you always find, this is what we can do better this time. Let's do this better. But it's like, no, you have to really like take back and think, whenever you have constructive criticism for the team, I did A, great.
Yes.
We did B, great. C was great too. Now let's fix D.
Yes.
You have to give some positives in the mix to acknowledge what you guys improved on, what is working, what is, facilitating that great performance, and then what is the one thing in this time that we can do better. So you don't just get like, overwhelmed by all the negatives, all the things you need to fix. You're like, man, this person just like keeps telling me I suck, essentially. Like, no, you're trying to improve, but without saying you did this well, you're giving that negative mindset, which is not intentional. So I think it is important as an athlete yourself, if the coach doesn't do it for you, to be like, hey, he didn't say that sucked, so I did that better.
So that's good.
Great. So I'm going to keep that in like my memory box and like, cool, I'll have that little like party moment for myself. Totally. And then, he found this other correction. So like, let's get that good feeling again of like, yeah, I want to do better. I want him not to keep telling me that one correction. So like, cool, another one down. Like, yeah, it's that different way of thinking about it rather than like another correction. Like something else sucks. Like I'm not good enough.
Yeah, it's about reframing. It's probably one of my most used words. Reframe. Pause, reframe. Okay. I'd like to tell as a coach, again, don't treat them like you're stupid. So at the beginning of each season, I tell my kids, if I give you a correction, it is coming from a place of love, and it's because I know you can do it. If I didn't think you could do it, I wouldn't give it, because that's a waste of my breath. Yes? So if I am giving you corrections, and I'm giving you lots of corrections, sometimes it's fast. And as a coach, we forget the positives and we're like, just go, because kids are going, right? Oh, you need to fix this. Oh, you need to fix, oh, and you, right? You don't have time to be like, and this is nice, and this is not nice. Okay, but you don't have to say that's bad. You don't even have to say that's your bad side. That's your less preferred side. Okay, nothing is, it's not your bad side, because that's up here. It's just your less preferred side right now, but we'll get there. Okay, we'll get there. Now, when I give you a correction, it's out of love. Okay, it's out of love because I think you can do it. I know you can do it, or I wouldn't waste my breath. Okay, so if I've given you 5 corrections in a class, it's because I really think you just tweak that one little thing. Girl, you're gonna be so good, right? No, it's not because I'm like, gosh, you're so awful. It's actually a compliment that I'm watching you and taking time to correct you, right? Now, as the athlete receiving that, it's like, oh, I'm awful. Cut that. That's in here as well. And where did that negative self-talk come from? Who knows? Various places. Negative self-talk can creep its and rear its ugly head, and it can come from so many different places. But your job now is to say, hey, that's negative self-talk. That's not what I want to think. Okay. And that can come from anything. That can be in school. Okay. I was awful at math. Awful. As exampled by how many kids in each row again, kids? Okay. But if I'm constantly telling myself, Sabrina, you suck at math.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're going to suck even more at math. So, okay, math is not my strong suit. No one is going to dispute that, especially my high school math teachers. Okay. However, math is something I am working on. Sure. I am learning to be better at math, okay? Or I am learning to get by in math, okay? Because sometimes good enough is good enough, okay? We can't be perfect at everything. So I might be perfect at a lot of things, okay? Just kidding. I'm not perfect at a lot of things. No one is perfect, but you certainly won't be the best at everything, okay? So sometimes good enough is good enough so that we can focus on what we are strong at. So for me, my math just has to be good enough, okay? Sometimes kids count yourselves into the lines. Okay, good enough. You got it. Probably quicker than I did, right? Good enough is good enough. But I can focus on what I'm good at. Okay, I can play off my strengths. So good enough is good enough. Sometimes that project, that speech, you might not have thought it was perfect. Everyone else might have loved it. Good enough.
Yeah.
So you need to have a good enough is good enough sometimes mindset to be great at the things you are wanting to be great at. I personally couldn't have cared less about math. I didn't need to be great at math. Okay? That's not here anywhere on my list of things I really am passionate about. So good enough was good enough. Okay? Now, if I'm constantly saying, oh, I'm so bad at math, I'm so bad at math, and then people are telling me I'm so bad at math, that's one thing. People can tell you're bad at something. You don't have to believe it. Okay? My math grades would indicate it, but that's a whole nother issue. I telling myself I'm bad at math is the same as somebody telling me I'm bad at math. Your brain processes the exact same way. The only difference is I'm with me 24/7. I can give myself negative feedback 24/7. That is an impressive feat, right? That is impressive. No one else is with you that long to give you any sort of feedback. So if your feedback is negative, even your coach giving you positive feedback will not make a difference. Okay?
Yeah.
Repeat that to yourself. Even if my coach tells me I am good, if 24/7 I'm sitting here, I suck. Oh my gosh, I suck. I suck, right? You're suntanning on the beach. I suck. What?
Yeah.
Your coach saying once, hey, good job, isn't going to fix, I suck. I'm slow. I'm a bad learner. I'm not this, I'm not that. Cut it. Cut it out. So that's easier said than done. When you notice a negative emotion or a negative self-talk, pause. Okay, pause. That's step 1 for literally everything in life. Pause. Evaluate. Because we get this spiral effect. It's like tumbleweed. They just go and go and go and go. And then all of a sudden, you went from here on my emotional spiral, feeling pretty good, to like, woo, way down. And then guess what? You can't go right all the way back up. You got to go through each level. And that takes some time. So let's cut the time. Let's be proactive and let's say pause. This can be used for anything. This can be used for, I'm really mad at my parents. I want to just yell, pause. Okay. I really just, these kids are not listening. I just want to stop my feet and be like, get out of my class, pause. Okay. Man, my boyfriend, girlfriend, I just can't stand them. Pause. For sure, pause. Okay. Now, reflect, address. Okay. What am I feeling? What am I saying to myself? I'm saying to myself, oh, I'm slow. What's that negative feeling I'm feeling? I am feeling bad. Okay. Label it with an emotion. I'm feeling upset. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling ashamed. I'm feeling not good enough. Label it, because when we give something a name, it becomes less scary. Okay. Yeah. When we give something a name, it becomes like, hey, friend, or less of a friend for you negative thoughts. Welcome back to today's game show. Okay. Hi, I'm feeling ashamed of myself because I think I'm slower than everyone on my team. Welcome back, old friend. Screw you. Screw you. Okay? I feel ashamed. I'm telling myself I'm feeling ashamed because I'm slow. Done. Hello? Welcome. We don't need you. Next, I'm going to reframe that. I might not be the fastest on the team, but I bring a lot of other good things to the team. And I'm working on it. I'm faster than I was yesterday. Faster than I was last season. Okay? So you're not lying to yourself. I am the fastest on the team. When you're like the slowest on the team, that does you no good. That just creates this fake cocky illusion. However, you're saying I am not slow, because when you say an I am statement, that's part of who you are. Okay. So that's part of our identity. If your identity has become I am slow, that's a problem. If you're a track runner or a speed skater, you're running, you don't want to be slow. Don't make that part of your identity. Cut that out. Reframe it. Oh, I might not be the fastest, but I'm working on it. Yeah. I am still a runner. I am still a track athlete. I am still whatever, okay? You have to reframe. And you have to say, hello, welcome, negative thought. Goodbye, not needed. Okay? And then the more you do that, the more you get into a habit of positive self-talk. And then guess what? Who's with you 24/7? You are.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. You could have 24/7 positive, reaffirming, uplifting content. Now, content is in here. Content's also what you're listening to on here. Are you listening to your friends all the time? Are you listening to negative podcasts, gossip, drama? Okay, I'm extra. I love being extra. But I don't need extra drama. I don't need extra gossip. Okay? Have some extra oomph, some extra love, some extra life. Yeah? So 24/7 up here is a long time to be dealing with it. Deal with something good. And then watch what you're listening to out here. Watch what you're listening to out here, because it's going to filter back. Subconsciously, you're going to be repeating whatever you're hearing out here. Yeah?
I'm really hoping that a lot of the points that you made stick with all the athletes that are watching this video, and I think they're incredible. And if anyone does feel like they resonate with them or they want to dive deeper, I would highly suggest looking into Impact Performance, because Sabrina is the brains behind it. And I think it's an incredible platform that's really going to help facilitate a lot of change. And I'm really excited for all the things that you continue to do. And I learned a lot from our chat. I hope everyone else did too.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for doing this. So important, everyone. Just honestly, we are a community regardless of what sport we play. We are a community of humans. So let's just work to thrive. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.